Here's something almost nobody tells you. The first $50,000 you save will feel 10 times harder than the second $50,000. Not because the math is harder, because your brain is working against you the entire time. Most people think saving money is a math problem. Spend less, save more, watch the number grow. But if that were true, everyone with a decent income would have savings. They don't. In the US, nearly 40% of adults couldn't cover a surprise $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. That's not a math failure, that's a brain problem. Here's why. Your brain evolved to care about right now, not next year. A candy bar today feels real. A retirement account in 2050 feels like fiction. Psychologists call this present bias. And it's the single biggest reason saving money feels unnatural, even when you know it's smart. So what actually happens on the way to that first $50,000? Let's break it into 3 stages, because each one messes with your head differently. Stage 1, $0 to $1,000. This is where most people quit. Not because $1,000 is hard to save mathematically. It's because at this stage, saving feels like sacrifice with no payoff. You're not investing yet. You're not earning interest that matters yet. You're just not spending, and your brain hates loss without a visible reward. This is why financial experts always say, build a small emergency fund first, even before paying off debt aggressively. It's not because the math says so. It's because your brain needs proof that saving works before it will keep doing it. One study from the Urban Institute found people who reached even a small savings milestone were significantly more likely to keep saving afterward. The number matters less than the momentum. Stage 2, $1,000 to $20,000. This is the boring middle. And boring is dangerous. At this stage, the money is real enough to tempt you, but not big enough to feel life-changing. You'll see a used car, a vacation, a phone upgrade, and think, I've earned this. That single sentence has probably destroyed more savings accounts than any recession. Here's the psychological trap. Your brain treats saved money as available money. If it's sitting in your checking account, it feels spendable, even if you mentally labeled it emergency fund. This is why separating your savings into a different bank, one that's slightly annoying to access, works so well. Behavioral economists call this a friction cost. You're not tricking yourself. You're just making impulse spending take 5 extra minutes, and 5 minutes is often enough for the urge to pass. Stage 3, $20,000 to $50,000. This is where something strange happens. The money stops feeling like savings and starts feeling like protection. And that shift changes how your brain processes risk entirely. Here's an example. Imagine 2 people, both making $60,000 a year. One has $2,000 saved. The other has $45,000 saved. Give them the exact same stressful event, a car repair, a medical bill, a slow month at work. The person with $2,000 experiences it as a crisis. Their brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone, and stress hormones are proven to impair decision-making. They're more likely to take a payday loan, rack up credit card debt, or make an emotional financial decision they'll regret. The person with $45,000 experiences the exact same event as an inconvenience, same bill, same dollar amount. Completely different emotional response because their brain has stopped treating money as a survival issue. This is the real reason the first $50,000 matters so much. It's not the number itself, it's the psychological floor it creates underneath you. Once you have enough saved to survive several months without income, your brain quietly stops running the background program that says, not enough, not enough, not enough. And that program, once it turns off, changes almost every decision you make afterward. People with a real safety net negotiate harder for raises because losing the job feels survivable. They take calculated risks on better opportunities because failure isn't catastrophic. They stop making decisions purely out of fear and start making decisions based on what they actually want. Now, here's the part that surprises people. After $50,000, saving the next $50,000 is measurably easier, and not just because of compound interest, though that helps too. It's because you've already proven to your own brain that the system works. The friction that existed at $1,000 is gone. The temptation that existed at $20,000 has faded because your identity has shifted from someone trying to save to someone who saves. Identity-based habits are far more durable than willpower-based ones. Psychologist Wendy Wood's research on habit formation shows that once behavior becomes tied to identity rather than motivation, it requires far less mental effort to maintain. So, if you're sitting somewhere in that brutal middle stage right now, staring at a savings account that feels like it's barely moving, here's the honest truth. It's supposed to feel like this. This stage is the expensive one, not in dollars, but in willpower. You are not behind. You're paying the psychological tax that everyone pays before their brain switches from scarcity thinking to security thinking. The first $50,000 isn't hard because you're bad with money. It's hard because you're teaching your nervous system an entirely new way to feel safe, and once it learns that lesson, it doesn't forget it.